Good morning, Master Trần Dị Thanh. We are trip 8 of CC01, include Nguyễn Hằng Long, Võ Trung Kiên, Khu Vĩnh Kiên, Trần Trương Công Luận, and Nguyễn Anh Kiệt. We making content about paper straw. This content will be include the paper straw industry and economic, the cost of production and market structure, economic problems. Now we come into the paper straw industries. Let me introduce you about the history of the paper straw. The paper straw was introduced by Melvin Stone in 1880. It wasn't until 1890 that it was mass produced. However, the popularity of plastic led to underutilization of paper straw. Unlike plastic straw, the paper straw have a key environment and health benefit. Paper straw are non-toxic, biodegradable, effectively single-use. This is the comparative of paper straw and plastic straw. Let's move on to the process of manufacturing paper straw. We first coming from raw material sourcing to paper straw production. It includes pulping, forming, rolling, cutting, quality control, and coming to the final processing. A quest code may be applied to enhance durability. The straw are then packaged and distributed to various markets.
Demand refers to the quantity of a good or service that consumers are willing and able to buy at a particular price and within a given period. Quantity of demand is the quantity of a good or service that a consumer wants to buy and can buy at a different price each time, assuming all the factors remain constant. The law of demand. There is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demand. The demand function is QD equal to f of Px y I C E and n. There are two rough types to represent the demand schedule and demand graph. The determinants of demand is factors that influence the quantity of a good or service that consumers are willing and able to buy at a different prices. Take paper straw buyers for example. The determinants of demand are individual consumers, restaurants and food service businesses, and retailers. Analysis of demand. For example, the Vietnamese paper straw market is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 12.5% from 2021 to 2026, reaching a value of $3.6 billion by 2020.
Let's talk about what is supplies. Supplies is the ability and willingness to sell products, specific quantities of a good at alternative price in a given time period. Quantity supplies is a quantity of goods or service that sellers are willing and able to sell at different prices. Low of supplies. That will be the quantity of goods supplies will increase when the price increase and vice versa, assuming the other factor main concern. And the supply functions that will reflect the relation between quantities and the variable that affect to the quantity supplies shown below. And coming with that is the supply schedule and supply graph to illustrate the data. We're moving on to the determinants of supplies. There's price of good itself, input price, technology expectation, number of sellers. Let's analyze the supplies. The growing demand for environment Friendly products is a key factor driving the market growth. They are variable government initiatives to reduce plastic use. However, the high cost associated with paper straw and the availability of the lower price can hinder the market growth. The supply and demand of the paper straw are affected by COVID-19 pandemic. However, the rising trend on online food ordering and the growing demand for paper straw in hobby store for intake liquid medication are driving paper straw sales.
The next part I will talk about is elasticity. It comprises of elasticity of demand and supply, and gross elasticity of demand and income elasticity of demand. The right elasticity of demand and supply. The right elasticity of demand of paper straw can be considered to be elastic because when the right increase, the quantity demand for paper straw will decrease. For example, right elasticity for paper straw is about minus 0.872, and the right elasticity of supply for paper straw is elasticity. This is because the paper straw are a relatively new product and the product process is not yet fully optimized. Next is gross price elasticity of demand. The gross price elasticity of demand for paper straw is for substitute because the price of paper straw is decreased. The demand for plastic straw is decreased. Example, gross price elasticity for the demand for paper straw is about 1.067. The income elasticity of demand. The paper straw is considered a luxury normal good because compared to percent share in income in Vietnam from 2021 to 2022 is 11.19%. The percent share in quantity demand for paper straw is 40%. Income elasticity of demand is equal to 40% divided for 11.19% is equal to 3.5740%. This one I will analyze about the elasticity, and the right elasticity of demand and supply for paper straw is considered elastic as a result. When the cost of production and quantity supply for paper straw and any increase in demand would likely lead to an increase in price. The price for the product is not high, but still higher than plastic straw due to production cost. So, when the price of paper straw increases, the demand for plastic straw increases. As the income elasticity of demand for paper straw, so paper straw is a normal good, but they are not a necessity good. They more like an eco-friendly luxury good, and the price of paper straw is higher compared to their substitute because of their production cost. The growing demand for environment-friendly product is the key factor driving the market growth. The rapidly growing global food and beverage industry is acting as another growth-inducing factor. However, the high cost associated with paper straw and the availability of the low-price substitute can hinder the market growth.
So, with the government intervention, the price selling on paper stores can make them more accessible to consumers and encourage their use. However, if set too low, they may discourage manufacturers from producing paper stores, potentially leading to shortage or reduced quality. With the price floor can promote sustainable manufacturing and encourage investment in eco-friendly production processes. However, higher price could deter consumers and potentially lead to resistance or a shift back to cheaper alternatives. With the taxes on paper stores are not a common government intervention policies because their primary purpose is to promote environmentally friendly alternatives to plastic stores. So In the second chapter is the cost of production and the market structure. It has the four parts. The part one is about the cost structure. The part two is about the economies of scale and the economies of scope. And the part three is the market structure, and the part four is the competitive advantage. So with the papers drawn in our team made opinion with the fixed cost, it include four parts. It is the facility cost with the rent or mortgage, the payment or property taxes or an insurance. About the equipment cost, it purchase or leasing of machinery and equipment such as the straw making machine or the cutting tools and the packaging equipment or the utilities which are the electricity, the water and the gases. Certain energy costs may vary with production level, with the salary and administrative expenses, management, administrative staff, and the other fixed labor costs. About the variable costs, it includes also four parts. Now, team made of opinion has the raw material, the cost of the paper form is a variable cost as they are directly correlates with the product. With the labor cost, it is a machine operator and the production line worker. The packaging materials, it is about the process of wrapping can be considered with a variable cost, while the maintenance and repairs that is depends on our machine that needs to take the time and need to repair and maintain annually.
Now we'll talk about the economy of scale. The economies of scale occur when the average cost per unit of production decreases as the scale of production increases. This phenomenon is typically observed in various industries and businesses when certain conditions are met. These conditions include raw material procurement, production efficiency, marketing and distribution, and lastly, pricing competitiveness. Next, we'll talk about economies of scope. The economies of scope come into play when a company efficiently produces multiple products together. We'll highlight how product diversification, collaborative innovation, and resilience in diversification, they all boost the success of paper straw production. Now, the market structure of the paper straw industry is often characterized as an oligopoly. And what is an oligopoly? An oligopoly is a market structure where a small number of large firms dominate the industry. These firms have the power to influence market prices and control the supply of goods or services. There are typically a small number of major players that have a significant market share. Now, the reasons that we call the paper straw industry is an oligopoly the companies that involve often have well-established brands like Nestle. They have extensive distribution networks and considerable production capacity. And the barrier to entry in the paper straw industry can be relatively high. Establishing a production facility, securing reliable sources of sustainable raw materials, and meeting quality standards are significant hurdles for new entrants. In the paper straw industry, well, there may be variations in terms of branding, packaging, or specific features. The basic products, which are paper straws, is relatively standardized. The competitive advantage that the paper straw have environmental sustainability, which is their ability to be biodegradable and compostable, as well as recyclable. Next is consumer preferences. Now there is a growing demand for products that align with sustainable practices. The companies that adopt paper straw demonstrate a commitment to corporate social responsibility and environmental stewardship. Lastly is the regulatory compliance. The regulatory landscape is evolving to address environmental concerns, with many regions implementing restriction bans on single-use plastic. This provides a competitive advantage in markets with stringent environmental regulations.
Let's talk about an economic problem. There's an impact of specialization in efficiency for the economies of scales. In the case of paper straw, specialization might involve companies that specialize in sourcing raw material, manufacturing, and or distribution. Specialization facilitates this chain of goods and service between specialized entities. This can lead into economies of scale, reducing production costs due to efficient gains in each specialized area. And for the quality and innovation, cost efficiency, a company specializing in paper manufacturing may produce higher quality paper for straw. By concentrating in specific tasks, business can achieve cost efficiency through the use of specialized equipment, knowledge, and skills. Exchange between specialized entities can foster innovation. A paper straw manufacturer might outsource packaging to specialized packaging company to gain comparative advantage. Next, moving to the government policies impact. There's a positive impact and negative impact. In the positive impact include environment regulation, subsidies, and intensive consumer awareness program, research and development funding. Therefore, a negative impact. There's regulatory completion cost, market distortion, short-term economic disruption, quality and innovation constraints. That's all.
Government policy to remedy the market failure. Government policy on single-use plastic straws. In Finland, there is a ban on supplying single-use plastic straws, customers, and drinking cereals. Alternatives to single-use plastic. Businesses can supply and sell alternatives to single-use plastics, including paper straws and reusable alternatives. Challenges and considerations. Policy face challenges in implementation and effectiveness. For the plastic straw ban, ensuring compliance, managing exemptions, and addressing the limitations of alternatives like paper straw are significant challenges. The effectiveness of these policies depends on their ability to balance environmental, economic, and social factors. Compare from interaction in different market structures. In perfect competition, many firms homogeneous products, no barriers to entry. Producing similar paper straws, prices would be driven down to the level of marginal cost within to minimal profits. In monopolistic competition, many firms differentiate products, some barriers to entry, some control override, differentiating their straws for branded quantity or environmental impact. Prices would be higher than in perfect competition due to differentiation and brand quality. Oligopoly: few firms' products may be homogeneous or differentiated, significant barriers to enjoy mutual interdependence. A few large firms might dominate. They might engage in non-price competition or could collude to set higher prices. In monopoly, one firm, unique product, high barriers to entry, price maker. A monopolistic firm would be the sole supplier of paper straws. It could set higher prices, but its output would be lower than in more competitive markets. There are different macroeconomic indicators. GDP could increase if the paper straw sector expands significantly. Inflation could be affected by the supply-demand balance for paper straws. Balance of trade may improve with reduced plastic straw imports and reduced paper straw production. Business investment could shift from plastic to eco-friendly alternatives like paper straw. Policy removing paper straws would stimulate job creation and industrial growth. Price stabilization efforts aim to control inflation and smooth the transition. Overall, the shift towards paper straws represents a structural trend with diverse economic implications.
Next, I will talk about analyze economic policy. First one is regarding the roadmap to reduce single-use plastic. Vietnam government have announced to use the roadmap to reduce single-use plastic to further support the government. This roadmap recommends a phased approach, starting with restricting use, charge-free, and finally banning use. Following this roadmap, the use of single-use plastic straw will be reduced and finally is banned from using. Because of that, substitutes such as paper straw will be used more in restaurants, cafeteria, etc. The markets of paper straw will continue to increase because of the fact that plastic straw will slowly be banned from use, but the ban also led to the rise of many substitutes such as metal straw and bamboo straw, which could also affect the paper straw market. The next one is regarding price stabilization. The control of price of other goods in general on the markets fall under the function and duty of the Ministry of Finance, and it is recommended to seek further advice from the Ministry of Finance. According to the assigned function and task, the Ministry of Industry and Trade have direct locality and business to implement the market stabilization program to ensure the supply of goods at a reasonable price for the market, especially during the holiday period. Next is regarding distributor. Currently, there are many paper straw distributors in Vietnam, but there is not an exact number on how many distributors in Vietnam, but it can be said there is a lot nationwide, because there is high quality distribution in every region of Vietnam. The distributor can get the goods from many different sources. However, different distributors from the same area mostly got the goods from the same familiar and reliable source. Some even get the source from foreign source with better quality, but also increase the price because of import taxes. Next one is analyze macro variable. First variable is want to say about its Consumer Price Index (CPI). Vietnam Consumer Price Index in October 2023 is 3.6%, while the CPI measure in previous month is 3.7%, which means it decreased in 1%. When compared to the same month in the previous year, which is in October 2022, the CPI decreased in 0.7% in comparison. The next variable is inflation. Core inflation in Vietnam in October 2023 is increased by 2.5% compared to the same month of the previous year, which is lower than the CPI of Vietnam in October 2023. This will help affect the price of paper straw, and the change in price or policy about paper straw market will affect the inflation, due to the fact that paper straw is not excluded from core inflation calculation and is included in the CPI under the food away from home category. Next one is analyze a possible impact of fiscal and monetary policy. First one is about positive impact. Now, these impact of fiscal and monetary policy can lower the VAT of rival goods from 10% to 8%, and also extend the paying deadline for VAT, CIT, PIT, and land grant. The policy helped corporations and suppliers paper straw tremendously in stabilization and growth after pandemic. But there's also negative impact. There's some laws that have negative impact on the market. Mostly it's from consumer markets. It's still difficult. Input cost, transportation cost increase due to the impact of gasoline price, input materials, interest rate, exchange rate, and economic slowdown globally. Lastly, thank you for uh, thank you for listening to our presentation. Please have a nice day.